Da-da-da! What's my good cheer? Welcome, everybody. Let's give YouTube a couple of minutes to get those notifications out. And in the meantime, if you've never popped into one of my lives before, hi, I'm Cindy. I explore the inside and the outside. And I was just having a little giggle with myself because I'm sitting here and I'm just going, hit that button, Cindy. Go ahead. Just hit that button. And then another part of me is kind of like that angel and that devil on your shoulder going, oh, Cindy, you got nothing to talk about. Oh, my goodness, you're on this topic of acceptance. And I'm going, Cindy, just accept the situation and then just hit that button and go live. You've got this. You've got this. And I hit that live button and here I am. We've got 20 minutes to have a chit chat, to delve into the topic of acceptance a little bit more. I was taking in notes. I was listening to different perspectives, right? I was trying to look at this word with what I was trying to do is I was trying to steer it, right? Because yesterday I didn't realize we were just going to go into the heavy, and I should know better because, right? You don't get one without the other. And the lessons, right, are always difficult. That's why they're lessons, right? That's why you get exams, right? To make sure that you're absorbing the content, that you're actually learning in the process. So, Cindy, hit that live button. You got this. And that's one thing that I can accept to myself is that I will show up, but in my mind, I will try to procrastinate. I do have, right, those excuses on one shoulder, and I have that cheerleader, that go-getter, that on the other shoulder. And it's a beautiful combination. And, I would like to think all parts of me respect, right? Right? Especially now that we're taking in these lessons because we're moving forwards. We're not going backwards. And it's not like anything's or anyone is going to be left behind, right? If I'm moving forward, we're all moving forward, right? Or I'll take as many as I can along for the ride. And it has been a ride. And I have to be grateful for that small understanding of baby steps, that I didn't put myself in those hairy, scary situations. A lot of times, being highly sensitive and being empathic, we look at these traits as difficulties, but in all actuality, they are gifts and they offer up great opportunities to make great strides in our life because of these gifts that not everybody gets to have. And it's not really a gift that really anybody would prefer to have. But if you had to go through those experiences to be able to get a little something in that experience as a token to help you move forward, hey, I'm all about that, right? And I will take advantage of that because I've earned it. And I'll make great use. I'll make the best use for it as my lessons will allow me, right? I miss the lessons and I get taken advantage of, right? My loss is my loss, and that loss was caused by my own choices. So I just want to tell you of a little bit of a serendipity, a little bit of coincidence that's playing out right now, and I'm not quite sure where it's going to lead me. But last night, Amelia Earhart came across my content and came across my path, and then this morning, I picked a word from this deck of cards that I have. It's called "She Believed She Could, So She Did." So let's pick a card, Cindy. It was a game I used to like as a kid. I would pick, right, open up the Bible, pick a verse, and that would be how it would move in the moment or in the day or in the week, or give me a perspective on a problem that I had, right? I've been doing this all my life. But what I picked was this card that said, the most effective way to do it is to do it. And who is this quote by? Amelia Earhart. Interesting, interesting. But then just when I did that, I go, that sounds very familiar to a quote I heard just like a half an hour ago, 15 minutes ago. What was it? What was it? And then I remembered house cleaning and stuff, things pop out of drawers. This card was laying on my kitchen floor. And this card says, the secret of getting ahead is getting started, right? And we were talking yesterday in that procrastination, in my hesitancy, in pushing that live button, that, when these ideas come to me, I've gotten those lessons in the patterning, in different thought leadership that I've picked up along the way, those lessons, right? It's been pounded into me, and yet still, right? In that procrastination, in that hesitation, right? I still need that little bit of coaching, right? The good angel, the bad angel, right? The cards laying on the floor, that guilt and shame that comes up to the surface, and those experiences and conversations that you have along the way that, right, just confirm, if you don't take the steering wheel, that something or someone else will take that steering wheel, right? I think I was invited to this party because of my willingness to participate, and all it took was that willingness. And in that willingness, right, I did it the most comfortable way that I could do it, in those baby steps, perfectly. And everything, it didn't seem like it was taking down the speed of anything that I wanted to accomplish. And in fact, I was absorbing the lessons so much better because I was absorbing it in those baby spoonfuls, and I was taking the baby steps, and I was taking the small bites and not taking out the big bites, because it's those big bites that put you in that frazzle. And we all know that we can't think straight when we are in that frazzle. Nothing good comes of it when you're in that frazzle, except for more frazzle. Prime example of that is yesterday when I was working on ordering my glasses. I had them picked out. I paid for them. Next thing I know, I'm getting a phone call from the company saying, "Oh, sorry, can you pick different frames because your prescription won't fit in these frames?" And then I picked out a few more frames, and none of them fit. And she says, "Would you like me to go in to see what kind of frames will work for your prescription?" I said, "Oh, would you do that for me?" At this point, any pair of glasses that will fit me, I'm willing to take. I'm not even going to take a choice, right? I'll just accept. I'll just accept what's given to me, what's available to me. And, that little bit of frustration was coming up. But that frustration was only in the disappointment of not getting what I wanted, tooting my own horn, dancing in my kitchen because I got my glasses ordered. They're all paid for. All I have to do is the waiting game. And I'm the best waiting person ever, right? And then to get the call that just kind of, and I just kind of went through the floor, and then I just kind of, right? And it put a damper on my whole day. And it made it so that, because I did spend the whole day picking the glasses and going through all that trouble and paying for them and arranging everything just to have it pulled out from underneath me. And, one thing I don't like is that waste of time. And I felt it was just a big waste of time. What was the point, right? I hope I can find a pair of glasses. But then, because of the lessons, right off the hop, I notice I'm talking to myself like that, and I'm going, "Okay, Cindy, you can't cry over spilt milk. You can't, right? And you're not going to pick glasses that are not going to serve the purpose that you needed to, right? You were able to get these glasses in your prescription, and the new prescription isn't much different than this one, so you'll find a pair, right? You've lived a couple of months already with these broken glasses. Will another couple of weeks or another month, will it make a difference? Right? So, I talk myself down. Everything's good. Don't cry over spilt milk. And in that feeling and that understanding, I was able to get motivated and get the dishes done and get ready for my work week and get in a few lessons. And yet still, I didn't even go in to do the videos because of the way I felt and because of my preference of not enjoying editing videos, right? I didn't want to make, that disappointment kind of heavy in the last day of my day off. And I actually, right, cheered myself up. And then when I got up this morning, and this is the truth, right? Because I didn't make a big deal, because I still accomplished in things, even though it wasn't the main thing I wanted to accomplish, but I only took it off the plate to help alleviate the disappointment that I was feeling in the moment. And it worked out just perfect for me because I was able to enjoy my evening. I was able to get the few last projects that I needed to get done. I brought out my Christmas tree. I put out my new modem. I got super duper internet. I got a few things that were on my list to get done, right? And the secret of getting ahead is just getting started, right? The most effective way to do it is just to do it, right? Right? So I got this phone call this morning, and it was from one of the shops that I went in because I had the same problem. Sorry, we can't fit the lenses into these frames or this prescription. And it was frustrating. Plus, I had my sister with me, and she's all like, what do you call that? Right? Like she's tapping things and, right? Like she's ready to go. So that heats on me. And still, I'm in that feeling of, okay, I'll just settle for whatever you have, right? Right? We came right up close so that it was all the way around me, right? No options, right? Just accept whatever. And then this morning I got a phone call, and it was the eyeglass shop, and they said, "Oh, hi, we have your," because I let them photocopy my prescription. They said we called the dispensary, and they gave us a list of frames that might work for you. A list, not just one pair, but a list where I'm actually going to get to select. It might not be a huge list, but be able to have a selection, even 1 out of 3 pairs that, right? Even having the best pair out of 3, and all 3 of them are ugly, the being able to have the pair that looked the less ugliest would be better. And that wouldn't have happened if I was just miserable about it. If I didn't even, right, I'm not so miserable, I don't even want to deal with an eyeglass store, and I can see it clearly, right? My call display that, right? So things work out the way they're supposed to work out. But the idea is and that wasn't just the other one. So then again, after I have my shower and I'm ready to do my live, I walk into a live show, and it's all about just never giving up. Just keep going. Just keep that. I'm just like, okay, you guys got me, right? I don't need to be smacked upside the head with a brick. I don't. I'm just keeping an eye on the clock because I do have to run off to work. And I am grateful. I am grateful this week to be able to have a job that I can go to ground in, because I went all kinds of places on my days off, and I didn't let it interfere the way it could have let me interfere. It could have went, oh my goodness, are you serious? I give up. What's the point? Right? You just gotta laugh at yourself, because in baby steps, that's allowed, right? In baby steps, you're allowed to make those mistakes. You're allowed to have that little bit of disgruntled in you. That's a good thing, because at least you realize that something's not right, right? So I am grateful for this job that puts the roof over my head, that allows me to show up here fresh like a loaf of bread, that allows me that when I have my times when I get off work, and also have that extra time off, because I'm able to arrange my uh, work week schedule in a way that gives me some time to work on my brand and to work in myself, which is my brand, right? That I'm able to, right, smile at myself, right? And, pick up on these little serendipities and little clues that kind of come across my path, just to encourage me, because that's what it is. I mean, it may sound like get to work, the most effective way to do it is just to do it, right? It just like it does sound kind of mushy like that, but it is in it is good advice. The secret of getting ahead is just getting started. It is in that momentum, and it is working towards those goals and those dreams and those things that will help you in the creation of the best human being you possibly can be, right? The best human being you possibly can be, right? Don't spend so much time concentrating on what everybody else is doing unless it's in good influence for your own movement, right? But we all, in our choices, get to make those choices. And those choices are going to impact negatively, positively, maybe not at all, but not making our having all that time spent in one thing and not having movement in either way, having movement forward to see the success, or moving backwards in a way that you could see your mistakes, so that when you do try again, right, you might do a little bit better, right? Yeah. I accept the lessons, however they come to me. It's just a matter of being aware. And I catch so few of them. But sometimes in the repetitiveness, right? I do get the message. I do get the message. That's the thing. You get the message. But again, if it's not putting that action and you're not making that movement in that message, a lot of good it does you. Unless you're showing up here fresh like a loaf of bread, and in my mistake in not taking the action that was clearly brought across my path, that maybe somebody else might pick up on that and make a little bit of movement themselves, right? Because I learn just as much from my mistakes as I do from my successes. And I also take advantage of the fact that I can also learn off somebody else's mistakes and not have to go through that difficulty. Okay, you guys, that's my good cheer. See each other tomorrow. Bye-bye.